What if Hollywood spent 20 years ignoring the very thing it claimed to celebrate? What if the perfect action star wasn't missing? What if he was standing right there the entire time, and the industry simply chose not to see him? In 2013, a British martial artist walked into a Warner Brothers audition to read for Batman. No CGI. No stunt doubles. No green screens. Just a man, a camera, and movement so sharp it felt dangerous to watch. Every strike landed with intent. Every turn felt grounded. There was no pretending to fight. This was fighting. That man was Scott Adkins. The footage didn't stay private for long. It leaked online. And when fans saw it, something unexpected happened. The reaction wasn't polite curiosity, it was disbelief. This feels real. This is Batman. This is what we've been missing. A grassroots campaign ignited almost overnight, Adkins for Batman. But Warner Brothers had already made their choice. Ben Affleck got the role. And if you don't recognize the name Scott Adkins today, that isn't bad luck. That is the story. Ask yourself this. How does one of the most complete martial artists alive never become a mainstream action star, while actors pretending to fight become global icons? Scott Adkins didn't stumble into combat training for a role. Combat was his life. He began training at just 10 years old. By 19, he earned his black belt. And he didn't stop there. Taekwondo, kickboxing, judo, Krav Maga, capoeira, ninjutsu. This wasn't choreography. This was discipline, pain, repetition, failure, growth. Inspired by Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, Adkins didn't dream of fame, he dreamed of mastery. He trained obsessively, often alone, often broke. His father's garage became his dojo. Concrete floors. No mirrors. No applause. Acting was always part of the dream, but drama school was expensive. Too expensive. There was no money. No connections. No safety net. At one point, the dream almost died quietly, like so many others do, not with drama, but with reality. Then something unexpected happened. A demo reel made its way to Hong Kong. No agents. No hype. Just skill. And suddenly, Scott Adkins was standing beside the very legends he grew up watching. Working with Jackie Chan's collaborators. Training under elite stunt teams. Learning from choreographers who valued precision over spectacle. Talent recognized talent. Back in the West, director Isaac Florentine saw something Hollywood kept missing. In 2006, Adkins was cast as Yuri Boyka in Undisputed 2, a low-budget, straight-to-video sequel nobody expected to matter. It wasn't supposed to change anything. But it did. Audiences couldn't look away. Boyka wasn't flashy. He was brutal, disciplined, terrifying. But beneath the violence was something rare: honor, pain, pride. A code. He felt real. Ask yourself, when was the last time an action performance didn't feel manufactured? Boyka became iconic. Awards followed. Cult status was sealed. And yet, success came with a trap. Hollywood didn't see range. It didn't see a leading man. It saw a box. Russian villain. Foreign muscle. Perfect henchman. Not Batman. Not Bond. Not the hero. Big films came calling, but only for fragments. A blink and you miss it role in the Bourne Ultimatum. Doing the real fight work while others took the spotlight in X-Men Origins. Wolverine. A silent enforcer in The Expendables 2, a movie celebrating action legends while ignoring one standing right in front of them. Even Marvel reduced him to a forgettable death scene in Doctor Strange. Meanwhile, actors with a fraction of his ability were landing billion-dollar franchises. So what went wrong? The answer isn't Scott Adkins. It's Hollywood itself. By the 2000s, technology changed everything. CGI replaced impact. Wire work replaced weight. Rapid editing replaced skill. Anyone could look dangerous, no matter how little they trained. Real fighters became inconvenient. Too honest. Too exposed. Because when authenticity steps into the frame, it reveals the illusion. And Scott Adkins refused to fake it. So he carved his own path. Film after film. Project after project. smaller budgets, smaller audiences. But something powerful happened. Fans noticed. Not marketing departments. Not studios. People. People who recognized sweat. People who recognized discipline. People who could feel the difference between pretending and becoming. Scott Adkins never became what Hollywood wanted him to be. And that may be his greatest victory. Because while the industry chased shortcuts, trends, and algorithms, he built something timeless, a body of work rooted in truth, effort, discipline, and respect for the craft. And maybe that's the real lesson hiding in plain sight. Sometimes the world doesn't reward the best. It rewards what's easiest to sell. But real skill never disappears. It waits. Quietly. Patiently. And for those who are paying attention, it inspires. Scott Adkins learned that lesson the hard way. From the outside, Hollywood looks like a meritocracy. Work hard, get noticed, succeed. But behind the curtain, the rules are different. Familiar faces are safer than unknown talent. Marketing matters more than mastery. And shortcuts are always cheaper than commitment. As Adkins himself once said, with brutal honesty, why hire someone who can really do it, when you can hire a famous face and fake the rest? That sentence alone explains almost everything. The industry slowly stopped valuing authenticity. Real martial artists were replaced by clever editing. Real danger was replaced by green screens. Real effort was replaced by camera tricks and stunt doubles stitched together in post-production. Scott Adkins didn't fit that world. He wasn't pretending to fight. He was fighting. When Hollywood stopped calling, he made a choice most actors are too afraid to make. He walked away from approval. Instead of chasing red carpets and auditions that led nowhere, he went where the work was. Straight-to-video action cinema. A place Hollywood dismissed. A place critics ignored. But there, something extraordinary happened. Adkins became king. Dozens of films. Tiny budgets. Brutal schedules. No safety net. No luxury. No shortcuts. 3 weeks to shoot an entire movie. No stunt doubles. No wire tricks. No digital fixes. Real fights. Real damage. Real skill. Every kick landed because he put in decades of training. Every bruise was earned. Every scene demanded precision, pain tolerance, and relentless discipline. And action fans around the world noticed. Asia. Europe. Latin America. To them, Scott Adkins wasn't just another actor. He was the last of a dying breed. A throwback to an era when action stars were athletes first and celebrities second. But America barely knew his name. Then, after more than 20 years of grinding, something finally shifted. John Wick. Chapter 4. A massive franchise. Global reach. A real opportunity. At last, it seemed like Hollywood was ready to acknowledge what fans already knew. There was just one catch. He wouldn't look like himself. To play Killa, one of the film's villains, Adkins would be buried under layers of prosthetics and a fat suit. 3.5 hours of makeup every single day. His face reshaped. His body hidden. His identity erased. Most actors would hesitate. Scott Adkins didn't. He understood something deeper than fame. Opportunity doesn't always come wrapped in recognition. So he said yes. The result? One of the most memorable villains in the entire franchise. Audiences loved him. Critics praised the performance. The character felt dangerous, physical, alive. And most people had no idea it was Scott Adkins. Isn't that the perfect metaphor? After 2 decades of trying to be seen, his biggest breakthrough came when no one could recognize him. Today, at 48, the toll is undeniable. Recovery replaces training. Injuries replace ambition. Ice baths replace long nights at the gym. The body remembers every fall, every impact, every sacrifice. Yet he keeps going. 3 to 5 films a year. Still doing real action. Still refusing to fake what others simulate. In an industry that no longer demands authenticity, he continues to deliver it. He's famous almost everywhere, except the country that employs him. And when asked about fame, he doesn't pretend indifference. He's honest. Yes, he wanted it. Yes, he still does. Not for ego, but for opportunity. For the chance to do meaningful work on a bigger stage. For the ability to prove, once and for all, that real skill still matters. So here's the uncomfortable question. What does it say about Hollywood when one of the last true action stars never got his moment? Scott Adkins isn't a failure. He's evidence. Evidence of what the industry abandoned when it chose convenience over craft. Familiarity over talent. Image over substance. Real skill. Real risk. Real action. One day, audiences may crave authenticity again. When the spectacle feels hollow. When shortcuts stop satisfying. When people want to feel something real. And when that day comes, they'll discover the man who was always there, working quietly, relentlessly, knocking on the door without ever being invited inside. By then, it may be too late. But history has a long memory. And history will remember what Hollywood chose to ignore.